All right. Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welcome to Activated Mornings on WFM 99.9. The time is 20 minutes after the 8 o'clock hour. I'm your host, Christal, and you can join us live on Facebook as well as via the radio 99.9. So, hope you're listening wherever you are. We say good morning to you. This morning, we're going to be talking a bit about basketball. Yes, you know basketball. Yeah. When was the last time you played a good basketball game? Joining us this morning is the president of the SVG Basketball Federation, Mr. Rohan Providence. We say good morning.
Hi, good morning, Christal. Thanks for having me.
All right, not a problem. Crisp and clear. So what is SVGBF? I know what it stands for. What are you guys are responsible for?
The SVG Basketball Federation is the legal arm of basketball here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's the body that is affiliated with the parent body of world basketball, which is FIBA, and we the representation of St. Vincent and Grenadines to FIBA. We deal with all matters relative to basketball, from granting membership to removing membership to overseeing the very sport here in St. Vincent, its development and continuance.
Okay, so you're working in collaboration with the parent body,
FIBA,
and you
yes.
also work with the government as well.
Well, we try to work with the government through the sports department. That hasn't been going so well. We do have discussions from time to time. We've had the input of the government under the previous sports minister, Mr. Mackey, in giving us assistance towards rehabilitating our facility at New Montrose. But we at a sort of a standstill now, trying to get the code to completion. We also do work with we also are a member of the NOC, which is a member of the International Olympic Committee. And we're an affiliate there, so we get some assistance from them as well to put off our activities here. That has somewhat been curtailed because of the responses that we've been getting in terms of from their parent bodies or their sponsors who've been putting out strict restrictions on how funds are to be utilized.
Okay, all right, interesting. Now let's go. Let's speak about you have an upcoming general meeting.
Yes.
Give us some details on that.
The general meeting that we have is actually a special general meeting. From the time my executive took office in 2019, we have sought to restructure basketball in St. Vincent, because I'm not so sure how familiar you are, but those persons who have been around basketball will know that at one point in time we were the number one sporting activity in St. Vincent. Over the years, we've lost that sort of position for due to a number of factors. And one of the things that my executive has been trying to do is restructure so that we could bring back the glory days, or rather recreate and enhance on the glory former days of basketball. And we face some challenges in terms of membership, because while we have basketball activities ongoing in the country, the body that represents basketball, that controls basketball, which is the federation, does not have at this point a ratified membership. By that, we mean we do not have registered members who are paying their dues to the federation so that they can access the developmental training, the support that is there from the federation level. So the meeting, which is called on the 31st, is the final of three meetings that we would have called to get the basketball academies, the basketball enthusiasts, the basketball teams, the basketball associations from down the islands, all of those registered under the federation. Because if this does not happen, then the federation then has to say to the NOC, well, we don't have a membership, and the NOC is asking for us to ratify our membership as well. We don't have a membership, so we would be suspended by the NOC, and by extension, we would be suspended by our parent body. because if you don't have a membership, it means you don't have a federation.
So that's the next step,
Yes,
basically, to build up the membership. So the
yes.
31st of this month, who should be coming to that meeting?
We've invited all previously registered members of the federation. On record, we have about 45 or so previously registered members. I believe it has declined a bit due to the factors that we face. We had our volcanic eruption, and preceding that, we had COVID, which kind of hit us a serious blow because coming into office and then you got hit with COVID straight away means that we were not having any actual basketball activities, as in tournaments from a federation standpoint. So we've asked all those persons who were previously registered to come and be part of it. We are also asking that persons who have an interest in becoming members of the federation to send 2 representatives to that meeting.
Is there a limit as to who can join? Are there criteria like
Yes,
age or?
in our constitution, we have varying forms of membership. We have ordinary members, we have affiliate members, special members, and honorary members. And we also have membership that is given to association. Now, the ordinary members and the special members are the ones who are able to elect an executive of the federation, right? So the ordinary members, once you're a team, you're a club, you're an academy, and you involved in basketball, you're invited to be a member. A special member, we offer that to the leagues, the various basketball leagues around the various basketball associations. For example, you have Annesville Basketball Association, you have the Beckwith Basketball Association, you have the Union Island Basketball Association. They offer that. The referees and the table officials as well, and also the schools and colleges that would be involved in basketball. They all offer membership. The association can grant honorary membership as well to persons, but they won't have a voting right.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that there were so many basketball associations.
Yeah, there are a number. So we've been hearing people saying, "Oh, but basketball is not happening in St. Vincent." That isn't true. If we look at it, we had a period of COVID, right? The Ministry of Health said to us that we can't, because basketball is a contact sport. You would have 10 persons on the floor or 6 persons on the floor at any one time, whichever format you play, 5-on-5 or 3-on-3. So you would have that amount of people on the court, and then you'd have spectators. But with the 5-on-5, you'd have a bench that has substitutes. With 3x3, you only allowed 1 substitute. So you would have a number of people playing, and Ministry of Health said no. There was a point when they said no activities. All activities like that were suspended. We had tried to write to appease them, to try to say, sports helps, but they said point blank no. So persons were saying, "Oh, we were not having any basketball," but that was due to the COVID period. After COVID, we had tournaments going on. We had inter-academy tournaments that was put off by the various academies that are in the country. Then recently we had the Beckwith basketball having its return tournament after being put to bed by COVID. And we had Union Island, which had the Easter tournament and had several other tournaments going on. So basketball has been happening. What has not been happening is that we've not had a national tournament. And one should try to understand, if you don't have a ratified membership, how do you put off a tournament? We have funding impediments. We don't have access to the sort of funds that we would like. If our members not paying dues, the NOC is saying, listen, our funds have specific usage. You can't just tap into it. Of course, the government has little to no funds to give to us because we've tried to access funds, but we've been waiting to get a word to say, yes, these funds are available. So a federation without money can't do anything. We not like football. whose parent body gives money to football. FIBA does not give us money. What FIBA does is give us technical assistance, developmental assistance. They would give us some equipment if requested, because we did ask for some equipment and we were able to get a whole 3x3 kit. But that in itself is another issue, because you need now to have transportation to move that kit around. Then our home at New Montrose, which I told you in the beginning, we got some help from the government through the National Lottery, Sports Council, the National Lottery, to do some of the work there. But then we still at a position where the work is incomplete. We have a surface that needs to be redone. The facility needs some washroom stuff, bathroom, toilet fixtures. So we still at a place where we can't really say, okay, let's utilize our home and go on. We share Annesville with every single person, whether it's party or sport. And basketball usually take back seat, because where we play basketball is usually the wet fed ground or the partying ground. So they take precedence over everything else because they generating the revenue, we not. I've said a lot.
Yeah, yes. Maybe it's just an afternoon sport. Maybe that's how some people look at it. Now,
Yeah.
how long have you been president?
I became president in July 2019. According to our constitution, we due to have elections this year.
Okay.
Yes.
How many years is that? 2019, 20, 21,
Yeah,
22?
we're supposed to do a 4-year tenure.
Oh, yeah. That's quite a long tenure. I know
Yeah.
of organizations who do like 2-year tenures.
Oh, well, we try we match our parent body as well and our sub parent bodies, the sub zones and hemispheric zones. So we on the CBC, which is the English and Spanish, and then CONCENCABA, the wider region, and then FIBA Americas, which is America, and the Latin and English speaking Caribbean, and then FIBA. So we match our parent structure going on, which is a
Okay.
4-year tenure.
All right, all right, all right. What about let's talk about your achievements since 2019. You mentioned that you've had to deal with COVID-19 and then the volcanic eruption.
Yes.
Outside of that, what has your executive been able to accomplish?
Well, we've been doing a lot of developmental training, as I stated, because we were able to gain access through the NOC to the development of a national sports structure grant. With that program, we were able to become the first English-speaking Caribbean to have 8 certified World Association of Basketball coaches, level 1 coaches certified. So we were able to have 8 coaches certified during the period. We also had persons undergoing refereeing training. We had table officials training, and so far we've gotten 1 registered referee with 3 registered referees with table official registered with FIBA, because you have to complete assignments and do an exam in order to become certified. So we've been doing some developmental work. We've had training for PE teachers, and outside of that, we've been working on the basketball administration, the whole structure of basketball. It's sad that we've been around for such a long time, and most times people don't realize the reality of the legal side of things, even for sports in St. Vincent, because we are a non-profit organization. We must be registered with CIPO. We must be submitting our annual returns and such now. Unfortunately for basketball, when I took over the helm as an administrator and a manager and accountant by profession, you look into these things and you realize from 2009 we were not satisfying those requirements. So we were able to put all those things together, started trying to satisfy the requirements. Even to this date, we've still not satisfied the requirements, because now CIPO is asking us to submit audited financial statements for periods preceding the current executive's tenure, which is something that we are unable to do because we were not there and we have no records to that effect. most persons would say, but why are you saying these things on air? Because we need people to see the true picture, right, of what really is happening with basketball. When most people think it's just a jump up and sweat sport. It's not that. There are people who just want to jump up and sweat, but in order for basketball to have a future, to be continued in St. Vincent, things must be put to right. We have to put proper structure in place. Proper administration of the sport must be put in place. So I would say that the administrative developments is one of our greatest achievements to date in getting things ratified. We were able, again, as I told you previously, to acquire from FIBA a full 3x3 kit to then help us push that side of the game.
What is 3x3?
It's the latest format, not so new, but not so old, of basketball that our parent body believes that would be more beneficial to us as a small island nation. Given the fact that we are facing serious financial constraints, and it's actually one of the most entertaining formats of the game. 4 players on a team, 3 at any time on the court. So you only have 1 substitution and you have a 12-minute clock. That is exciting. It's the equivalent of Vinci Cricket Premier League 10 over.
Yeah, T20 or T10.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
It was actually a very big thing here in St. Vincent, as I said, because we did have a very vibrant 3x3 competition going, and we were actually ranked really high on the 3x3 rankings. We were ranked 76 in the world, which was very good for us. But again, COVID and the drop off, volcano and all that caused the decline because the activities were put to bed. So we're now trying to have a resurgence here.
Uh-huh. So we have to take a break in about 3 minutes. What is our current ranking?
Our current ranking, I'm not able to give you that. I don't think we're anywhere up there anymore. I'm certain we're nowhere up there. We're way down at the bottom. Precisely what that position is, I can't tell you at this point.
Okay, and I was going to further ask male versus female, but let's leave it at that.
Female basketball in St. Vincent has been not very impressive in the sense that we don't have too many females involved in the game. When we do come back, I would share with you some of the plans we have for that, as well as some of the plans coming from our parent body with regards to developing the game here.
All right, so let's take a break at this time, and we're going to come right back right here on WFM 99.9.
Right.
Boy, so you getting crashing now? Your brakes real good, boy.
Now brakes alone good enough. My tires good too.
Tires? Where you get them tires, boy?
Out by Caribbean Tire Plus, man. They out in Addersville. Can't miss it. Look for the orange container on them. Plenty parking space and open 7 days a week all thing, man. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call them today. Caribbean Tire Plus, 784-432-4786 or email ctiresplus@gmail.com.
Shop at Lanes, where you come first. For value and quality you can trust. Lanes. For home hardware, fashion and more. The best prices at every store. A warm fancy welcome is waiting for you. At Lanes, your family store for value.
It's no just a new year, it's a you year. It's time to put yourself first and build a strong financial foundation. And that's where we can help. At Sagicor, we have the experience, expertise, and extensive proven financial solutions to help put your goals in the spotlight. Whether you want to protect yourself from the unexpected or set a financial plan for the long-awaited, we are here for you. Visit Sagicor.com to get started. You deserve it.
Every girl loves curves. Curves is a girl's closest friend. When life throws you a fast curve, count on Curves for ultra confidence, ultra comfort for that time of the month. Curves ultra thin with wings, Curves regular maxi with wings, and Curves overnight maxi with wings. Super absorbent, best quality and value for money. Every girl loves Curves.
Agent and distributor. Better Brands Distributors.
99.9, the heart and soul of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We FM is SVG.
All right, welcome back to WFM 99.9. Let's continue discussing basketball. The St. Vincent and Grenadines Basketball Federation president is live in studio with us. Or if you're listening, wherever you're listening, good morning and welcome if you're joining us a little late. So let's continue. You said you have, well, there are some plans by the executive for 2023. What are those?
Well, first off, as I said, we have the ratification of the membership, which we spoke about previously. And coming right up after that, we have some training, some virtual seminars that would be hosted by FIBA, which is the parent body, regarding mini basketball. Now, this is youth basketball for children ranging from ages 5 to 12. And I said FIBA does not give money, but they do invest heavily in developmental training and technical assistance. So we've been asked to second 2 persons to this training. So we have attending that mini basketball training Miss Vasha Adams, which is a well-known name in St. Vincent. She's a national player on the netball and the basketball side of things. And our first vice president, who should have been here with us this morning, but has a head of department meeting at his substantive post. So they would be attending these seminars. Their seminars will run from February straight through to April, after which they would then come and impart that information to the local body, to our academies, and all those who have an interest in seeing youth basketball develop. The president of the NSC would tell you, as I would also say to us, is that if we don't have the young people involved in the sport, then we really don't have a sport. Because the sport has to continue. It can't be the old men like myself going out on a Sunday and sweating. No, that does not help the sport to grow. It is imparting what we would have learned over the years to the youths. And FIBA, through the FIBA Foundation, with its mini basketball program, is affording us that opportunity. Also in February, the General Secretary and myself, we have been invited by FIBA to travel to Miami for a FIBA workshop, the FIBA Plus workshop. Now, this workshop is to equip us as an organization to be more operational efficient. So FIBA said, listen, we understand the plight that the federations are facing. We've heard the cries of the federations, so we send in you the help. So we've been invited to attend a 2-day workshop on the FIBA Plus workshop, and we will be trained and equipped and given the tools necessary to come back and help develop a 12 to 18 month strategy and for our basketball federation here in St. Vincent, which hopefully should see basketball gaining some sort of resurgence here. We also have a calendar of events that is a local calendar of events for us. We have some national tournaments scheduled. We have invitational tournaments. We have our inter-academy tournaments. We have training for our table officials and referees. We have a 3x3 road show, a road tour, where we would start at our national facility, and we're going to traverse the entire island and the Grenadines, pushing 3x3 invitational tournaments. So there's a lot of basketball we're hoping to have this year going into next year, which would then see us preparing to build national teams from the under 15, 17, 18, 21, and senior level so that we could compete in the regional tournaments and extra regional tournaments.
You said build national teams. That implies that we don't have any national teams in basketball.
There's always a national team that was utilized to attend and to participate in previous tournaments. But for the future, those players would have gotten old. So we're looking to rebuild the team.
So that's kind of like a no.
If it's a norm to rebuild?
No, that's a no. We don't have any. You said under 15, 17, 21, and national team.
No, nationally, no. We have not selected any of those teams nationally. But should the need arise, because we have the academies playing, we can invite players to training with our certified coaches and with a selection committee, have players selected for the teams.
Okay, but that's only on a needs basis. It's not something that's continuous.
No. As I said, from our calendar, we have national training sessions slated as well. So we would be putting together the teams in this period, hoping to put together the teams within this year.
Okay. What's your plan once you've put together that team? What is your plan for that team?
Well, teams, because it's under 17, all the youth teams and the senior team.
And
yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yes. We've been having discussions with different federations across the region, and our executive has also taken a decision to have invitational tournaments regionally. So there used to be a Windward Islands basketball tournament. And of course, if you know the history of basketball, St. Vincent was once a very proud champion in this area in basketball. And we're trying to have those revived, the Windward Islands tournament and the OACS tournament as well. Apart from that, we have had discussions about inviting other national teams here. For example, we reach out to St. Lucia and say, listen, we want to have a basketball weekend. We want to have your team come over and play several of our teams. Which of the teams you can bring over? But those discussions are ongoing. They're not yet finalized.
Okay. What are your plans for money?
We've spoken with the National Lottery about putting in a lottery booth at our facility. It's right there next to the CWSA. So we have a lot of transportation and traffic, people traversing that area. So we're hoping that we would be able to earn some monies from that. We're also looking at various fundraising events, inclusive of utilizing Montrose. What we've been trying to stay away from is using our facility to have parties, because we've seen what it does to Annesville. That is under the control of the Sports Council, like all facilities in St. Vincent under the control of the Sports Council. But we've seen what it does, so we're trying to stay away from that. But we're looking to have other fundraising activities, like taking up from our gate receipts, barbecues, and asking for sponsorship. Because, even though we throw some fundraisers, those are not going to give us the sort of funding that we would require. We still need our corporate citizens. We've been asking, in St. Vincent, everybody seems to have already budgeted and given away the budget by the time you reach asking, even though you ask January 1.
Some companies, they don't work with the calendar.
Yeah,
They have
true.
their own internal calendar. So some a company's end of year might be September, you
Yeah.
know,
Well,
but
as I said, we've been asking, we've been sending right through the year. So I guess
yeah,
we've never made they made it in time for the fiscal periods. I'm not sure.
yeah. Sounds like the executive. How many members are on the executive?
Where the executive comprise of 7 elected positions. We have a president, a first VP, second and third VP, a general secretary, a treasurer, and assistant secretary treasurer. Then we have appointed a PRO and a game secretary, and then 2 other committee members. So in all, it would be a total of 11 persons.
Hmm. Sounds like the executive. When I say you, that's what I mean. You have a
Mhm.
lot of work to do for
Yeah,
this.
it is a task, and I don't think sometimes the fraternity understands the amount of work that goes in because, as I said earlier, most people just see basketball as just coming out and having tournaments and having a sweat. But there's a lot that goes into having a tournament. It's not just come and play. You have to have the financial capacity. You have to have the manpower in terms of the officials and the referees and you have to have all the stationery that is required. How are we going to acquire those things if we don't have a membership that is paying a subscription to us? Well, we in turn have to pay. We pay our subscription to the NOC. We have to pay our subscription to the National Sports Council. We have to pay a subscription to CBC, which is the regional body, and then we have to pay a subscription to FIBA, which is our parent body. So you
Right,
see,
right.
subscription, money going out, but nothing coming in. And everybody clamors that we need to do this and we need to do that without putting any resources in place to help with that.
Right. Some people prefer to see things happening before they join or become part of an organization or anything at all. So maybe that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for some quote unquote action, you know.
Well,
Um,
there is action, but one of the issues, as in our last meeting, one that we had, we were hearing persons saying, "Oh, that we were not very visible," which I understand because we do have a Facebook page, we do have an Instagram page, but we were not being put out there as often as we should have because we gave balls to the academies, we gave away rims, we gave away backboard, we've given assistance in terms of affording the training that is necessary. As I said, the only thing that we've really not done as an executive is have a national tournament here in St. Vincent.
I think you briefly touched on the condition of the basketball court in Montrose. What is it like now? You said that there were some repairs that
Yes.
needed to be done.
Yes, we did. When we came to office, we did approach the government through the National Sports Council, and we got some assistance through the National Sports Council via the lottery to redo the court in a sense. We had started with monies we had gotten from the NOC to redo the surface because for years the surface was up there after we took up the barber green that was there. It was just there and not redone. So we took on that job to redo it. However, when it was completed, when the resurfacing was done, there's an issue where after the concrete would have settled, you have some sinks. So you would see some watermarks where it puddles, which again is one of the reasons why we try to have it done properly. But with lack of funds, you usually get what you pay for. So we ended up in a situation where the court, even though it was redone, still has to be done again. Um, the government did help in fencing the property and repainting and replacing some doors at the facility. The request that we had put in was to complete the resurfacing, restructuring, outfitting the facility with bathrooms, replacing the bathroom fixtures and fittings, and painting. We did get the painting, I would say we did get the wall, the fencing, but the job wasn't completed because the bathroom facilities are still there to be done. And the surface itself now needs to be redone. We got a quote recently and we submitted that again to the Sports Council, who would then forward it to Cabinet. That's been a while now, so we're still waiting to hear where we stand with that.
So technically speaking, the facility is not fit for use.
No, you can't have a facility where the washrooms are not working. You can't use such a facility without washrooms, no. And then the surface again, while we can put our 3x3 on it, it is not the best because you have to think as well about the athletes that you have playing on the surface as well. You don't want to damage or hurt people, and we don't have no insurance to cover that either.
Oh, what is the state of female basketball?
Female basketball in St. Vincent, as I said earlier as well, is not very visible. The fact that we don't have too many females playing the sport now. A lot of our players would have migrated, and then right now, while you would look in the academy, you would see that there are a number of females that are training there. But in terms of tournaments, we've not had any of those. So we recently again appointed, I believe it was last year, Vasha to become the head of a female league that we're hoping to try and launch in this period.
Okay. Once again, a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
Somebody says, my respect to the executive. Sometimes this is a non-payment task they take on without the public knowing. From a dad whose daughter who has to constantly travel to towns, he's overseas, by the way, cities and countries for competitions. It is not a cheap or easy task at times. Clubs like these need public support. Thanks to you. Thank you to people. Thanks to people like him. All right. So we have to wrap up in about 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes more. So your final thoughts, final words of encouragement.
Yes, I would be appealing to our basketball fraternity that they be present at the upcoming meeting. We've reached out to FIBA to try and have a representative from FIBA at that meeting. I know the president again of the NOC and the general secretary of the NOC would be in attendance at the meeting. And we are hoping that this meeting really brings out those persons who truly have the interest of basketball in St. Vincent's, its continuance at heart. So I'm looking forward and I'm inviting us, and I'm inviting the media presence there as well. So if you're looking to come along and give us some media coverage, Christal, I know if that's in your area, we would appreciate it very much because we want persons in St. Vincent to know that basketball is not dead. And if they do look in the communities and around, they would realize it's not dead. It is facing some uphill challenges, which we're trying to overcome step by step. And we believe with the plan that we have laid out that we would get to the place that we want.
All right. I want to wish you all the best in the SVGBF's plans. You have quite a number of things to accomplish this year, and I wish you all the very best. And I hope that you get the financial support and just the overall support that is necessary to move basketball forward. I think I remember, now that you're talking about young people in basketball, I remember a gentleman from, was it Beckway, went away to study on a basketball scholarship.
Yes, we actually had two persons recently one from St. Vincent, from Players Youth Academy, and one from Union Island who went off as well on scholarships to Taiwan. So there are opportunities that are bound for young people. We just need the support of both government, corporate society, and also those who have basketball at heart.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Providence, and you take care and all the very best.
I thank you for having me, Christal.
All right, not a problem. And there you have it.